See, I went to move over in the chair, and I went. I turned into Yoda for a minute. I was like,
If only we had a studio. Procrastinate going to the studio. It'd work. It'd be nice. No cats then.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello and welcome to Nerddom's Levels of Ridiculousness podcast. I'm your host, Ozpin, and I'm joined by my co-host and buddy, DK.
Prove that I'm here.
Levels of Ridiculousness, or Lore, is a show dedicated to our conversations on all things nerd. We touch on a wide variety of subjects, news, and feature a different main discussion topic every week. This week's main topic of Nerddom Lore is our Gundam Wing retrospect.
Because Gundams, and why not? Anime, man. Anime.
That's what you said before. It's like, why not anime? And frankly, it's because we have not talked about anime for 3 episodes straight.
So 3 weeks. And I'm jonesing, man. I'm jonesing.
We
give
have
me that good
the
stuff.
Yeah, we have the craving. It's like we need to discuss anime.
This could be a...
That's what I said when we were trying to come up with the discussion topic for the show. It's like, we need to talk about anime because, frankly, I need my fix.
This is like a Stephen King book. We need the fix.
What is that? What is that? Is it the Tommy Knockers? That's the Tommy Knockers, where they're like they all turn into crackheads. Everybody in the town turns into crackheads. Or something like that, and it's like an alien crystal that does it, and the ship's buried in someone's backyard.
I've never seen that.
Like, Stephen King is weird.
I need to see that now. Tommy Crystal, huh?
Huh?
Tommy Knockers, right?
Tommy Knockers, yeah.
Tommy Crystal.
Frankly,
it's a new Kyber crystal.
The Tommy Crystal.
Pink.
My cousin's name is Tommy, and I hate my cousin with the passion of 1,000 dying suns. But
you could forge Mjolnir in it.
We will be discussing Gundam Wing as well as Endless Waltz, the Gundam Wing film.
I have actually own all the episodes and movie in English. It's one of those animes that I have. Like, everybody that knows me knows that I prefer sub. Yeah. I prefer sub. It has the best voice acting. I like the way everybody sounds in Japanese. That's why I'm learning Japanese. Yeah. I'm getting there. I'm starting to learn how to write and everything. But Gundam Wing, I have to watch in English. Yeah. I grew up with it, age 7, sitting in front of my TV screen. Just a 7-year-old watching Toonami.
Well, I was probably 6 or 7 when my dad picked me up the first VHS for Gundam Wing. Oh. Obviously not knowing what it was. But that being said, it was the censored Cartoon Network version. Yeah. Whereas the copies that we have on our DVDs, because I also own all of Gundam Wing. I own pretty much every English-dubbed Gundam series on DVD. Let's be clear. I am the Gundam guy, as much as is possible.
Gundam Wing is my thing. Yeah. Every Gundam is your thing.
Yeah. It's like,
if it involves giant robots, Ozpin has it.
I am your sensei. But, yeah, I grew up with the first VHS, which was censored, whereas the DVDs are not censored. They're the full-on, they have swearing in it. They have blood, which I can't really recall if the censored version had blood.
Yes and no. Back then it was a little bit more lax than it is nowadays.
Yeah, because I think they had the 2 versions and they aired them both, but they waited till late at night to air the unedited version of Wing.
When Hero blew up his Gundam, and he was laying in a pool of blood, they just skipped him laying in the pool of blood.
Oh, really?
Toonami.
Ah.
They skipped major points like that.
Yeah.
Which gave you impact. So when I saw it again later, I was like, whoa, crap. Okay.
Yeah, the first... I think the volume had the first 4 episodes on it. So I didn't get to see the rest of Gundam Wing until I was in my late teens.
I pity you, man.
I had the first 4 episodes... And frankly, if you're gonna have the first 4 episodes of a Gundam series, the first 4 episodes of Wing...
were great.
Those are some pretty dang good episodes with the
crashing it, Wing Zero into the
Okay,
the
okay,
lake.
we gotta
need to
stop. We gotta stop.
Let's progress into the story,
let's-
into the podcast structure.
Yeah, so we're going to restrain ourselves because
Until the main subject.
we've been talking about Gundam Wing for the past 4 minutes. We're going to jump into nerddom updates,
Okay.
which I believe you have something minor worth mentioning, just as far as
Nerdum updates, beginning of the year, Mondays, around 8, I'll be starting a live stream on YouTube and PlayStation. Solid Snake 5898 is my user tag for my PlayStation. It's just how it is, Metal Gear Solid Snake 5898. And then on top of that, underscore 5898. And then on
say
top
the
of that,
whole thing again so that they can hear it.
Solid Snake underscore 5898.
Okay.
And then on top of that, Fun Facts will be starting back up Friday since we're past the
holidays.
Christmas peak,
Yeah.
let's say.
Merry Christmas, everybody! We actually have a listener question that's related to the holiday. It's a little late,
Yes.
but I mean, we spent the last episode talking
We were supposed
about.
to use it for the last one, but we didn't do that.
Well, we spent the
podcast.
last episode talking about Star Wars and then nostalgia trips, which, frankly, that episode, Star Wars is a nostalgic thing for both of us. But, yeah, DK is planning to start his streaming, and, that's been hard to get off the ground because of your work schedule. But, Fun Facts will be returning Friday. And that's all we have for channel updates.
And that is,
So why don't you talk about what you've been up to?
just to clarify, that's Friday the 29th.
The 29th?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. We have D&D the next day.
Yep.
I get to...
Rima's.
Yes,
Yep.
I get to puppeteer you into...
I will say this, I squished a lot of bad guys.
Yeah.
I have a Titan Maul, an exotic weapon, those 2d12s, plus 2d10s, plus 2d4s, because I'm a war mage. And granted, I'm not going to get much stronger, except for escalation of level. And I have a few things I'm going to do, but
Yeah.
they're all legal, and they're not going to make me too powerful. Just versatile.
Alright, we'll see.
Alright, so what's the next
We-
thing on the agenda?
What we've been up to. What have you been up to?
I've been playing Fortnite. Fortnite also applies into my minor story, which I'll do next.
Right.
I jumped back into that because I was one of the first one. I jumped on it as soon as I saw it on the PlayStation, which was actually the first day it went up.
Right.
I bought the Founders Package, which is like $19.99. $20 for that game was beyond what I expected for it. It's an amazing game.
Oh yeah, Fortnite's really popular.
You've seen it.
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Oh, it is amazing, and
I like
it a lot.
I like the dynamic of you can construct things
Yep.
to get to places on the map you couldn't get to otherwise.
And build fortresses to defend yourself.
yeah.
And also on top of that, I've been over the holidays I got a new Batgirl statue. I'm now 80%. I have 20% to go on collecting the rest of the statues. I need Katana Girl.
What? Do you know the
I need
series?
Starfire. It's
Series of statues?
let me look right now since it's right here. I can just
Pick
hold it
her up, pick her up, pick her up.
It's just nope, it does not say. But everybody can see them on my shelf Fridays and Mondays when I do fun facts.
Yeah, they're the DC character statues with the matching bases. They're all really nice.
Oh yeah, I have Supergirl,
I still like her-
Raven, Catwoman, Batwoman. I need Katana Girl, Starfire, and a few others.
I still like your Lady Thor.
Yeah, Lady Thor's awesome.
Yeah. But
And that's about it for me. Oh, yeah, that's about it.
cool. Yeah, I haven't been doing much.
Same old.
Keeping up with Ruby.
Yep.
I'm happy that seems to continue to be going. I'm not sure how many episodes I can expect to get for Volume 5. We're at episode 10 right now.
Okay, so you're thinking maybe 13 to 23.
I'm worried
Go for it.
that I hope it's not just 12. I want it to keep going, but it feels like 12 is the number. Feels like it has been. I honestly can't attest to how many episodes the previous volumes have received. But I'm keeping up with that. It's very good. We had some traumatic, emotional things happen. Anyone who's watching Ruby, and if you're not, you should be, knows what happened in Volume 10 at this point.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies, so I don't watch it.
Yeah, well.
The art.
But yeah, there's...
It's better than it was. I'm not complaining about it. It's just for some reason, being an artist that has lost his capability of drawing because of...
you hurt your hand.
Spasms. No, my shoulder. I destroyed my shoulder.
Yeah.
I separated my shoulder, destroyed the ligament, so whenever I hold a pencil, my hand shakes profusely. Especially when I'm trying to...
You did hurt your hand. But I mean...
My other wrist.
Yeah.
But,
so you're... Funny thing about DK is, he's omnidextrous.
Yes,
but both of his arms have been messed up. So I'm sorry.
I can draw and write with both hands equally as good, but I cannot do either anymore.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, my handwriting used to be pretty good, and it's gone really horrible now. But I digress. From someone that's been an artist for many, many years, professional grade even.
I've seen what you've drawn.
Yeah,
I've seen you power through and draw things after you hurt your arms.
Yes,
and they're good, man.
You could sell that art.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking.
Well, heck, everybody in your family's artistic.
I'm not talking smoke in my butt. My dad is a professional grade artist.
Yeah.
My mom can paint ungodly works of art.
Your mom has painted.
My sister literally is one of the best artists I've ever met. It's in the blood.
Let me address this really quick. Your mom has painted multiple paintings for me that I have hanging in my house.
Yes.
I've got 5? I think I've got 5 paintings that your mom did for me.
In my fun facts video, they can actually see the paintings in my room that I have on my wall by my statues is my mom's paintings.
Yeah. The dragon up top. I don't know if that's on screen, but you've got the dragon up top.
Yeah, that was painted in an afternoon.
Yeah, and any of the drawings that are on your walls, your dad did.
Yes.
But
on my wall, I have a Spider-Man and a couple, but then I have a few others that I'll show off at some point.
Cool.
That are my dad's drawn 20 years ago.
Yeah, your mom has drawn me. Your mom has made several paintings for me as gifts. But to be clear for the channel, the little dragon mascot was drawn by DK's sister.
Anna Day.
Yeah, she
designed it. We had several changes.
Yeah, she's great though.
Yeah, the little guy on the bottom.
It's been a long time since I looked at any of her art.
By the way, if you're watching this and you see the little dragon on the bottom right, go ahead and click that if you want to subscribe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can click and subscribe.
That's a neat mechanic.
And it's my little mascot. That's my mascot, DK. You can see it on the pillow. And I eat a lot of Doritos and I drink a lot of Mountain Dew, so that's why he has them.
Oje moi.
And apparently my sister sees me as a white dragon. Not smart,
ha.
but very powerful.
But yeah.
And evil.
I've been watching and keeping up with RWBY, and I finished the first season of Durarara.
I pity you.
Why?
Because you have a second season, and the second season is a roller coaster.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm alright with that. I like roller coaster animes, especially emotional roller coaster animes. But I love Durarara. I certainly loved it's essentially a sister show to Baccano. And I wish we could get a season 2 to Baccano. I wish we could get a season 2 to Baccano more than I wish we could get a second season for anything.
And he's not talking about Baccano Pico. To be clear.
That's Boku no Pico.
Whatever.
And for the love of God, do not Google that.
I've never researched it, so I don't know.
I am shocked that you would bring that up on this podcast. DK is in
the Ruiner.
DK is in the shame corner for the rest of the podcast because shame! Ding, 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 ding. Shame!
Shut up.
Shame! Ding, 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 ding. Shame!
I shove a sword somewhere nice and pretty to her.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I've been up to. So,
that wasn't a sexual innuendo. I'm talking about a literal sword. To be clear.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't have called that. All right, let's go ahead and move on to nerd news, and I'll let you cover your Fortnite thingy real quick.
Okay, so Fortnite until the 28th is having a 50 versus 50 battle royale instead of 1 versus 99, where it's yourself versus 99 other players.
That's how it normally is.
For a free-for-all, it's 50 players versus 50 players on a massive team battle. A war, essentially.
I like that.
And it ends on the 28th. And after the 28th, they're having another limited edition game, which is explosives only.
Explosives only?
Grenades and
Grenade
dynamite.
Weapons.
Yep.
Okay.
Grenades,
all right.
dynamite, fireworks, which do a surprising amount of damage. and it's going to be glorious. So jump into that if you have till the 28th. This is coming out on the 26th, 27th.
I don't know.
27th.
Like, I have no idea. Why are you looking at me?
So jump on. You have a day and a half to play the Battle Royale, and then you're going to do explosives only. That's my story.
I like team-based combat for games like that. That's one of the reasons
I've
why...
never seen 50 versus 50 before.
I like co-op. I like people being able to work together to defeat a game as opposed to, oh, I have to fight you. Because that can create a lot of animosity, whereas if you're working together, yeah, that can create some animosity sometimes too, but
mostly over arguing, hey, I need that more.
I prefer teamwork. That's why I like D&D as much as I do. My news story isn't anywhere near as productive as yours. I just wanted to mention that for the listeners who aren't aware, I am a big Transformers fan. And I thought it would be worth mentioning that the newest line of Transformers figures have just hit shelves. It is Power of the Primes, which is following up the Titans Return toy line. For anyone interested in that, Titans Return just ended, but you can still readily get the figures online. Titans Return, they brought back Headmasters.
I know those.
Where
little guys that are the actual head.
Yeah, they transform into the head, and then when they transform the larger robot into the vehicle, they can sit
be the passenger.
Yeah,
or
they
driver.
can sit in the cockpit and drive the vehicle,
which is awesome.
Which it's my favorite Transformers gimmick. But Power of the Primes is a hodgepodge of
all that
previous lines. They're incorporating aspects of Combiner Wars. We're getting a Dinobot Combiner, where they're taking all of the Generation 1 Dinobots.
Is it Grimlock?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Grimlock's going to be a Voyager figure, which is one of the larger figures, and then all of the other Dinobots are going to be deluxes.
As he should be.
That can plug onto Grimlock to make a larger robot.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's cool. But,
Super Mega Grimlock.
They're...
XD.
I think it's called Dino
XL.
King. I think the name of it is Dino King, but...
Well, he is a T-Rex, so he is a dinosaur king.
They're bringing back Combining, which they did in the line before Titans Return, which was Combiner Wars, and then they're incorporating aspects of the Titan Masters, which is what they called the Headmasters during the Titans Return line. And they're recycling that in a way and using it for Prime Masters. Each of the largest toys of the line are going to come with what is essentially a Matrix chamber. And they're releasing the tiny little guys. In the previous line, they had the Titan Masters who would come with little weapons platforms that could transform into different things, like weapons. In this line, they have, they have the little head guys that can turn into the core of the Matrix chamber, but those come with Pretender shells. And what Pretender shells are...
You're going into the rabbit hole, buddy.
I'm going into the rabbit hole very quickly, but it's also crucial to the line. Pretenders are Transformers who are pretending to be biological life forms. So, and the way Pretenders work are, you have the robot that goes inside of an action figure shell that makes it look like another toy. Okay. A lot of the Pretender figures actually kind of look like He-Man toys.
Oh, wait. Does that mean Ace, the guy from Ace Ventura that was in the Rhino, was a Pretender?
Oh.
This needs to be discussed.
That's backwards.
This needs to be discussed. Was he a reverse Pretender? Was he?
But I got nothing. Power of the Primes, people. They have a very nice looking Optimus Prime figure that...
I bet you've never seen a robot rhino poop a guy out before.
I'm looking forward to. He actually turns from... He starts out as a cab, he turns into a little Orion Pax. Okay. And then you take the trailer that comes with him, because he's one of the first Primes we've gotten in a while that has a trailer. And then the trailer...
Turns into a weapon.
Turns into his body.
Really?
And then you get a Generation 1 Optimus Prime by taking the cab, transforming it into the chest section, and then plugging it in.
Oh, God.
So you get G1 Optimus Prime, but you also get Orion Pax, which is who Optimus Prime was before he became Optimus Prime.
Really?
Because that's the whole gimmick, is when a Transformer receives a Matrix of Leadership, they upgrade. You know,
Okay.
they get bigger. They get more...
See, his name was
Epic.
Orion Pax before that?
His name was Orion Pax. There are differing things as far as who he was. In one version, he was a chronicler. In another version, he was a cop.
Okay.
Yeah. So
We'll have
it's
to go
fun.
through that in an episode one day.
The figures look great. We're also getting a Hot Rod / Rodimus Prime, which does the exact same gimmick.
Okay.
So you get a little Hot Rod toy that transforms into Hot Rod, and then that plugs into the trailer, which makes him Rodimus Prime in vehicle mode, and makes him Rodimus Prime in robot mode.
Oh,
And you
God.
take the little car and you plug it into the trailer section. They look really cool.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. I just hope I have money to get some of this stuff. But we can jump into the top story. Do you want to introduce the top story?
Top story is the split and divide of the Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Yeah. Which is really...
Which is weird to me.
It's weird!
It was such a good movie.
For those who are interested in our opinions on The Last Jedi, we will probably be reiterating them here.
But in
We
depth,
love The Last
level
Jedi,
9,
and we spent the entirety of the previous
level 9.
Levels of Ridiculousness episode discussing The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
But we love it. Heck,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wrote a 5-paragraph wall of text
It was
review
essentially
for
2
it
pages,
on
yeah.
Facebook,
It was essentially 2 pages of,
yeah.
of writing.
pointing out, like, when I found out about the divide,
Yeah.
I went into the review. I was gonna review it like I would normally, but I went in and I'm like, I have to address this.
Yeah.
And the review became about the fact that people are so mixed on The Last Jedi.
I can't see why someone would start a petition.org page or petition page to strike it from canon, from the canonical.
That's childish.
It's very childish. I mean, you didn't like the movie, so
That's
you're going
yeah.
to try to write it out.
So let me get
First
this
of-
straight.
first of all,
you don't agree with the way things were portrayed in this film, so you are going to petition one of the largest corporations in the world
That just took Fox into their own.
that just made this movie and put it out to remove it and make it not matter anymore.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen, and it doesn't matter how many signatures
What I
you get.
think people don't realize is that the only reason why petitions matter is to let them know how they feel. They don't have to do anything legally because
No,
you have a
they
petition. The government does. After a certain amount of petitions to a certain act that are against it, they have to revisit it and do it from the perspective of the people that petition it.
But not corporations. That's
But
how
not
monopolies get made.
Exactly.
That's how you get corporate villainy. Villainy?
That's why we have the
Corporate
FCD
villainy.
or whatever that was that took net neutrality from us. They also govern to where no one organization is big enough to have a monopoly anymore.
Oish.
Because monopolies are no longer a thing. They're not allowed to happen.
Yeah. But, yeah, that's our top story, is the fact that people seem to be really split on The Last Jedi. Our opinion here at Nerddom is, the movie's great.
Yes, very. It's my favorite.
It is my favorite of the Star Wars films.
I don't see why everybody says Luke wouldn't do that. It's like, everything I've seen, Luke would do that.
Yeah, I went point by point and dissected Luke's character in my Facebook review.
Yep.
And I'm like, here's the thing. In fact, I could maybe... Nerddom has a Facebook page, right?
Yeah, you can just copy and paste it.
I could copy and paste it onto the Nerddom page. If anyone is interested, please go to our Facebook. We will have it linked in the description below. And you will be able to read me, Ozpin's review of The Last Jedi.
Yes, we'll have that up tonight before this is even published.
Because that's what irritated me, is I was so satisfied, so satisfied with Luke's character and the way he was portrayed in that movie.
And everybody hates that part of it.
Yeah, that is what bothers a lot of people.
Which I don't see. I've watched the original trilogy multiple times, and I've watched the prequels, which doesn't even have him in it, multiple times. I don't see why everybody's complaining. Luke is...
People are complaining
He's
because...
turned to the dark side multiple times in the original trilogy. On top of that, his training's incomplete by far.
Yeah.
And he's never even read the original laws of the Jedi. Even Yoda in the movie is like, you read them, have you? No, they're not page turners.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it explains that
Yeah,
He's a Jedi,
it's-
but some only to a certain point.
Yeah.
He's filled in a lot of blanks himself.
It's like Luke is the problem is, and every point you just made I covered in my review.
Yep.
The problem is that people remember Star Wars and they remember Luke
A certain way.
as this hero, as this
Legend.
as this pedestal of
Good.
it's hard of good, yes, but they remember him in Return of the Jedi as
A certain light.
yes, and they don't like when that light is
Not
diminished.
Yes. Well, the thing is, they even talked about that in the
frankly
movie.
people don't like change.
They even talked about that in the movie. It's like
Yes.
he was put on a pedestal as a legend. He's not really that.
Yeah.
Which explains a lot. He's human.
Is it safe to say, because we haven't actually talked about it in reality, like, did you agree with what I said in my review? Did you agree with all those points?
Yes.
Okay. Then pretty much Nerdom's opinion will be expressed in Ozpin's.
And DK. I'm going to have a little bit of input.
Cool. But
Not much.
please visit our Facebook page where...
It's in the description of every video.
Yeah. But then we'll go ahead and move away from Nerd News and we'll jump right into
Main discussion.
our main discussion topic, which is our Gundam Wing retrospect.
Okay, so
How do we want to do this?
Well, first of all, I'm going to talk about my background with Gundam Wing. When I was
I already kind of touched on mine.
a young child, I had a lot of home difficulties. I'm not going to jump too far into that, but I needed some sort of outlet, and Toonami was my thing. I went over to my grandparents' house. I'd sit in front of this big block TV, and it was a case that was wood, just big enough to fit the giant TV. And it was about...
Children these days don't know what that's like.
Back then, a giant TV was 22 inches. That was giant. If you had anything bigger, you were rich. You were above middle class or above poverty, like I was. I was poverty. They had that TV for a long time. But I'd sit down with my brother, and we'd watch Outlaw Star, Tenchi Muyo, Gundam Wing. Ronin Warriors was in there also, which is another great thing.
I haven't seen any of those.
You're going to watch it. I don't care. You're going to watch. No. You're going to watch it.
That's fine. I also have not seen, and this is going to get me a lot of hate, I have not seen Cowboy Bebop. I own it on DVD, but I have not watched it yet.
Spend the time.
I've had it on DVD, like I've been moving around so much the last few years. I've had it on DVD for like 10 years.
I know, you need to
about
watch
the
it.
Anime Legends collection, and I just never watched it. You know, I opened it up and everything, but I never watched it.
Watch it.
But I have a few anime on DVD that mainly I got when we were hanging out and we were going to Fry's that I still haven't watched.
But essentially, I spent...
You needed an escape.
Going back. I needed something.
And Toonami was your thing.
And that helps me so much. It's one of those things that got me back into anime. Because when I was 7, as my previous the podcast say, Donnie, a guy that I knew that was essentially my second dad,
yeah,
showed me Star Wars and showed me Guyver, which a 7-year-old should not watch. And when I was 9, I was watching Toonami. Correction, it was not when I was 7. It was 9. For that time, I didn't have a outlet to get back into anime, but then I did. And my first any type of model kit, any toy, was Gundam Wing.
Oh my
Scythe.
gosh.
The Scythe.
I remember, and it was so...
002, Death Scythe.
Yeah, Death Scythe. I remember being able to walk into a Walmart. This was around 2001.
And buy one.
So however old we were in 2001, that's how old you were when you were watching it on Toonami.
That was...
Because I remember...
16 years ago.
I remember walking into Walmart, and this is how I know it was 2001, looking at the Transformers Armada
8.
toys.
I was 9, yeah.
Looking at the Transformers Armada toys on one shelf, and then looking at all the Gundam toys on the other shelf. And there were Gundam toys when we were kids, man. I don't know where they went. I don't know how to find them. You can find them. I'm sure you can find them on eBay.
They're expensive, as you can believe.
They're not as bad as you think, but it's been a while since I looked up.
The good toys are expensive,
yeah,
especially since they're not remade.
They were these really cool... Everything was C-clipped and ball-jointed.
Yeah.
So the Gundam toys lent themselves very well to, when you're playing with them, you can blow off a leg. You can detach the arm.
Yep.
They're
made to come apart and put back together.
It was great. They were my favorite thing in the world. I have none of them anymore.
I have
lost all.
one.
I lost all of them. And I had God Gundam. I had Shining. I think it was Burning Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
I had Burning Gundam.
Sorry, dropped something.
I had Burning Gundam. I had the new Gundam. I had the original Gundam. First Gundam. With the G Fighter. Then I had the first Gundam battle damaged version. That was something they did for a while. Was the battle damaged toys?
I remember
they were the same toy, but they came with like what we were talking about. They were what's the word for being able to take things off?
Removable? I don't know. Detachable?
Yeah, whatever. There's a specific word I was trying to think of, but that you could take off the arms and stuff, and they had replacement pieces to pop onto those sockets that looked like it's like a replacement piece for the leg that you attach at the knee that looks like the leg has been cut off by a beam saber, and battle damaged shields that have been cut in half. That is so cool.
I had a battle damaged Wing Zero custom, the Angel one. That was my favorite toy. His wings were all burnt and fried. He had most of his armor fly off. And actually, it had a thing where it was attached to where his armor was still in the process of being blown off. It was in the air next to it, but it had these little wires that would hold it up. So it looked like he was firing. And he even had this little blast that would come out the front of his gun. His Buster rifle.
There were also like SD toys.
I didn't
super
like
deformed.
SD too much.
I didn't like them, but I had a few. Like, again, I had the first Gundam with the G-Fighter SD toy set. But yeah, those are a very big part of my childhood, and it doesn't matter how much I like model kits, because again, both DK and myself build Gundam model kits. I have a very large collection. DK has several on his shelf.
And then I have several that I still need to build, but don't have the time.
Yeah.
I have like 8 or 9 that I need to build.
But I loved the figures, and they're so hard to come by now. I found one, to replace the one that I lost. I found the first Gundam figure at a BotCon that I went to, which is the Transformers convention that no longer happens anymore. I went to 3 of those. That ended in 2015. They stopped doing BotCons in 2015, and they started in 2003?
Yeah.
So they went for a good long time. Yeah, and I went to 3 of those.
I got my...
they moved it around.
I got all but one. I have 2 Barbatosses on my shelf. I have 3 that I need to build. A Wing Zero that's completely built, still putting stickers on. And several others that I all got from Acon. 2017's Acon.
Acon's great. That's where I got one of my holy grails, which was the Gawain from Code Geass. The large black and gold mech that Lelouch and C2 pilot. It's like, I got a figure of that, and I was super happy about that. I got a lot of holy grails that year. We got the Master Grade Tall Geese that year, too, and I was like, Speaking of Gundam Wing...
I have a Master Grade Tall Geese.
You have the high grade 1x100.
Yes, I have high grade. Yes, 1x100.
I have the master grade.
I'm actually looking at it right now.
And
I have the high grade.
I have the master grade, and I finished it, but it's in storage somewhere. I have the Epion. That's the kit that I'm working on right now. But again, all of my stuff's in storage because I'm about to move.
By the way, real grades? Screw them. I don't like the stickers. They should come with those tons of guns on.
You're a completionist, so you have problems with trying to apply stickers. And frankly, I don't think you've had enough experience with other models.
No.
You haven't.
Not Gundams, but I've built hundreds of car models, kits.
That's fair.
And airplane model kits. I have about as much model kit experience as anybody can.
Yeah.
My whole thing with my dad was that how we bond is we built model kits. And you've seen how my dad does stuff.
Yeah.
I could do model kits to that degree. I just don't like doing stickers.
I've seen statues that your dad has customized and stuff with paint. But
I can do stuff like that. I don't like all the stickers.
Yeah.
I can put them on.
When I make master grade
kits, a nuisance.
When I make master grade kits, I don't even apply the stickers unless they're like really necessary to get the point across. But, like, real grades are tiny master grades. And
Yeah.
frankly, it's just so small that it is a pain.
Yes.
But they're good kits, in my opinion. They're very good kits. One of my favorite parts about real grade kits is that they have different colors of plastic to achieve different effects. So you've got like 3 different colors of white
Yeah.
to make the thing look more dynamic as far as the colors go. But Gundam Wing, we can do this by going over the plot points, the major plot points of the series, which
and then my chair squeaks.
which starts with, I do not have a list. We're going to do this as fluently as possible as a conversation on the fly, but we can start with Operation Meteor.
Operation Meteor, I believe it's...
Or Gundam Fall.
I believe that it is Colony 195. Or 196.
Oh, you've got me wanting to do it from memory. After Colony 195, Operation Meteor.
And then he blanked. You should have seen his face. It was just kind of like, lost all hope.
I did. I lost all hope.
After Colony 195.
In a move to counter the Alliance's tyranny, rebel citizens of certain colonies send... You
lost all hope again.
Okay, fine. I won't do it then.
Okay.
I tried. DK ruined it for me. I could have done it, but eh.
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk.
Okay, so...
You want to beat me up over not being able to say stuff? Go on.
Wing Zero is crashing towards Earth. And
not Wing Zero, just Wing.
Wing, okay. Wing. Well, it's 00001. Unit 001.
Yeah.
Is crashing towards Earth. Not identified. We don't know anything about this. And the first scene we get is essentially Mark... Zex.
This is the most iconic part of this series for me.
Yes.
Because the re-entry fight, it was something that I had never seen before, but it certainly helped to sculpt my imagination. What is happening is the main Gundam of the series, piloted by the main character, quotation marks.
Yui.
Hiro Yui kind of lacks character, so I hesitate to call him the main character.
He has character, but it's just a really weird character.
It's an ensemble for all the pilots.
Yes, it's supposed to be all 5 are the main characters.
Yeah, but he is flying to Earth in his Gundam, Wing Gundam, which has additional armor parts made to disguise it as a fighter.
Yes.
I think they're also for long-range space travel.
Yeah.
He's intercepted by an Oz aircraft, which is being commanded by Zex Marquise. At which point, Zex and I believe... Who goes after him? I think they launch 2 Leos.
Yes, 2 Leos, and then he gets into his. And
actually, I think it's
a
Leo and 2. It's a Leo and 2 Aries.
Yes, I believe so, because they put the parachute pack on the Leo later.
Yeah.
It was 2 Aries.
No. Leo goes to the bottom of the ocean with the Wing Gundam.
Yes, but that he gets the pack put on him, and then he lets go of the pack and grabs him again.
Zex ejects and has his own little parachute, which, frankly, I believe he got an oxygen mask on, too, because, frankly, he's ejecting out of a mobile suit pretty high up in the atmosphere.
I digress. Either way, it's one of the most iconic entries into the
Yes, it is.
series.
A re-entry fight helped sculpt my imagination into what it is today.
And also shows that the strength of Gundanium alloy in the show is a lot
stronger. It can tolerate re-entry, whereas...
It's a lot stronger than all the other metals.
Whereas the other guy did not survive re-entry.
No, not at all.
There's also Hero's laugh in that moment.
Yeah,
where he kills the one guy, and he's like, 1 more to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
I love this guy.
Yeah, you would, but when I was a kid, I had no real understanding of what was really happening. But certainly, in that episode, Zex becomes iconic, but we're introduced to Relena very shortly after that, and frankly, I didn't know what to make of Relena.
Relena is a special case.
Relena's weird, man.
Yes, very.
Especially at the beginning. And later she becomes so... pompous. Frankly, she does. It's like, oh, I'm a princess? Cool. There will be spoilers for Gundam Wing in this retrospect, by the way.
If you're watching this and we told you at the beginning that it's going to be Gundam Wing's perspective, you should expect the heavy amount of spoilers.
Princess is not necessarily the correct term, but for those interested in spoilers, this will contain plenty of Gundam Wing and Gundam Wing Endless Waltz spoilers.
Like who Miliardo Peacecraft is.
But Relina, I'm... Okay. Let's go character by character.
Okay.
Because I did want to talk about the re-entry sequence and how iconic that was for me, and
Let's
how...
go...
here's what happens.
Let's go through 01 to 05 and then the side characters. And other main characters.
Let's start with Hero.
Okay.
I know you love Hero.
Hiro Yui is my favorite Gundam protagonist.
Cool.
Or anti-hero, essentially.
Anti-hero, right?
He is... That is not his real name. We find out later in the show that he's given that code name. No one knows his real name. He was
We never
essentially
find
an
out.
orphan. He was an orphan. Like in Endless Waltz, it shows that he was an orphan raised to be in combat.
Yeah, child soldier.
A child soldier. No one knows his real name. No one suspects his real name. You see that he has a very tragic background where he watched this little girl,
Which we don't find out until the movie after the show's ended.
That he cared for actually got killed by the thing that he had to do.
Yeah.
And it killed her, and he broke. So that's why he's such a scattered character during the show, is that he's genuinely broken by his actions.
Yeah.
Which puts a whole new
He
depth
acts
to his character.
like a robot. And
yes,
that's
it looks like he shut off all of his emotions.
And that's because he has.
Yes! And only sometimes do certain emotions break through. Like, you see remorse and happiness and just anger. You don't ever see anger, surprisingly.
I'm trying to recall.
You see him
If we
excited,
see him get really mad at some point.
You don't see him get mad. You see him get into it, but never mad.
Yeah.
Which is a key point.
Frankly, that laugh at the beginning of the series, that was out of character for him.
Yeah, it was.
But they were doing their
and Carrie
best.
at the same point, because he's so broken to where, frankly, any emotion that he shows could just be a spark of what he had in him.
Yeah.
And he's broken in the mind. He can't. He is a child soldier. He can't comprehend his emotions, let alone know what they are.
Yeah.
So that just, it puts such a gravitas to his character.
He is a... He refuses to feel.
Yes.
He puts the mission above everything else. He acts like a robot, which frankly, that's just when you raise a child from birth to be a super soldier, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and he is a super soldier.
He shuts off his emotions and he gets what needs to be done. Which is how he's able to stop that bomb from going off right after the Alliance craft full of pacifists was shut down by him.
Yes.
There was the bomb, and Sally says, "Hey, we've got like 30 seconds. Deactivate the missiles, Hero."
Yeah.
And he goes and he does it.
Yep.
In like 30 seconds, he infiltrates a facility, deactivates a warehouse full of nuclear missiles.
Because he's bad.
And then still has a moment at the end to beat himself up for killing a plane full of pacifists.
Yep.
Let's see who can
we're progressing his cause.
Who else
that
can
he
we?
was fighting for.
Who else can we talk about? Let me see.
Let's talk about Relina, the other half first. Ashley,
go ahead and talk about Relina.
That's his other half.
Okay.
The other half of the story of his story.
Then are we gonna go pilot chick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might as well.
Go ahead and introduce Relina.
Relina is special in the sense that she's special to Hero.
Relina is special.
No, let me put it this way.
Ellipses.
Hero, through the whole series, again, spoilers, just
frankly,
for more, we're not going to mention spoilers again, but spoilers.
Frankly, Relina's kind of a weirdo.
Yes.
There's that whole sequence at the very beginning where she's like, what's your name?
I'm going to start...
After he's already gone?
I'm going to talk about Hero's emotion towards Relina, and then Relina herself. Hiro's emotion to Relina is that
See how much I agree with you
he
here.
is so broken, he doesn't realize that the emotion he has is affection. That is love. This is shown later in Windrop, the light novel version.
Are we going to
that's
talk about that here?
We're not going to talk about it too much, but it
Okay.
shows that it is, even through the show, he's like, I'm going to kill you. And he can't bring himself to do it. He doesn't even know why. He is so broken and just shutting off all his emotions and coordinating them to this dark corner of his mind to such a degree, he doesn't realize that he loves Relina. And we don't even know why he loves Relina. But he does. And the fact is that it's shown throughout the series, and even at the end of the series, where she's on the plane and Hiro doesn't have anything to do there. He just leaves her a birthday present.
Yeah.
It's a bear. It's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
Which is another callback.
Back to the little girl.
Yes.
I want to preface this that I'm not saying that I think you're necessarily wrong, but I'm not saying that I also agree with you that it is a romantic relationship between the two.
It's
but
affection is what I'm saying.
I also prescribe very adamantly to platonic relationships between people that do not require physical affection.
I said affection in my defense. I didn't
But
say romance. I said affection and love.
Yeah. But I like platonic things where it's like
Yes.
we are as close as two people can be. You know, we are borderline soulmates. I'm not saying that Hiro and Relina are soulmates, certainly. But we are I've always liked those stories where it's like we are borderline soulmates. We do not need to be romantically involved with each other whatsoever.
It's fair enough. But
Friendship, there is a very special bond involved with friendship, and that's something that I love to see in storytelling.
in my mind, essentially, though, it is a romance type of affection. And I was garnished a continuation of with the Windrop, where they have a kid. So that made me so happy.
Yeah, I have no knowledge of whatever.
They have a kid. It looks like a
You sure
female
that's the
Hiro
name?
Yui. I don't think it's the name. It's something drop.
Teardrop?
Teardrop. Thank you. Teardrop. Teardrop Destiny or something like that.
I don't know. This is
I don't know the name very
apparently
well.
this is a Gundam Wing sequel that was in light novel form.
Yep.
That is receiving an animation
From what I understand.
in which Hiro and Relina had a child.
That looks like a female Hiro Yui.
It's a chick?
Yes.
Okay, then what I saw where that is receiving an animation isn't what I think
I
it
believe
is.
it's a chick.
Because frankly, it looks like
no, what I'm
Hiro.
thinking-
It's a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy. What I'm thinking about is
Thinking about Duro.
Sandrock's pilot. He has a daughter.
Okay, cool. Good for Catra.
Catra.
But let's
Rubaba Winner.
let me touch on
Catra Rubaba Winner.
let me touch on Relina.
Really, go ahead.
I think Relina is an oddball at the beginning of the series. but
Very,
frankly-
very weird.
Frankly, a lot of the characters are kind of oddballish at the beginning of the series. But Relina is like so in your face.
Yeah.
Like she's
Monologuing to
she
herself.
monologues to herself. She's talking to people after they've already left the room.
In
Essentially,
In her defense, in the Japanese,
she's like, "My name is
adaptation
Relina
of-
Dorland.
the
What's
Ja-
yours?"
the
And he's
Japanese-
halfway down the
where
road.
she's speaking is a lot less weird when it's subbed. It's a
Eh.
lot less weird.
But she's an odd duck.
Yes. Very.
That being said, I don't think that she and Hiro, personally, I don't think she and Hiro have a romantic involvement with each other at all. I think that Hiro sees something in Relina that he subconsciously recognizes as, you are not someone that I should be killing. I'm not saying that he necessarily saw the potential she had to help usher in peace that came in later,
Yeah.
or the pivotal role that she played in reestablishing the Peacecrafts.
Yeah.
But Hiro recognized that, and it's also why the ending sequence for Gundam Wing features Relina playing with a very large dog. That being a callback to the little girl again.
Yep.
It's like, that's what that situation is implying. It's like, he sees her,
As her.
and it's touched on over and over and over again, and we don't know why. It's like, why can't I kill her?
Yes.
Because he sees the little girl in Relina, and he can't bring himself to do it again. But also because he recognizes that, in the same way that he saw it for the little girl, you're not the problem. Therefore, I'm not going to kill you. Because all of the
Which is a good way to be.
all of the Gundam pilots essentially became autonomous when they went against the original plans for Operation Meteor.
Yes.
We find out later that apparently, part of the implication is that Troa is the one giving the Gundam pilots their missions.
Yeah.
Which
is
blows
weird.
my mind. There's a lot of revelations. There's a lot of revelations that are made in Endless Waltz.
Yeah, very much so.
Specifically, the actual reason why Operation Meteor was happening and how it was going to play out. So when we find out exactly how the Gundam pilots dealt with it, you know, they went against orders and they went down and they started to attack Oz, as opposed to instituting a planet-wide massacre.
Yeah.
Which, as we
Which
see...
is what it was supposed to be.
As we see, the Gundams are more than capable of doing that.
Oh.
The Gundams are not only capable of taking out armies, they are capable of
Destroying
laying
worlds.
waste. They are capable of laying waste to the civilian population. Thank God.
They decided to be good guys.
None of the Gundams decided to follow orders and attack civilian populations. But, yeah, Relina plays some very critical roles in the show later. And I stand by, that's just my opinion. I don't think that it's a romantic thing. I respect that you think that's what it is. I just think that you can have relationships that aren't necessarily romantic and still have them be very deep.
You certainly can.
That's not necessarily the relationship that comes to mind when I think about that type of relationship that I'm describing, but yeah.
You certainly can, but
Relina's an odd duck in the beginning and becomes a weirder, odder, kind of pompous and annoying duck later.
Can't deny that.
Just the way she starts to carry herself when she finds out her lineage.
Yeah,
It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
And she tries, like, there's the moment where Hero and Zex are fighting in Antarctica, where she's like, Hero, defeat that man!
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you seriously trying to give him an order? Are you serious? Are you seriously trying to give a Gundam pilot an order right now? In the middle of a duel? Forget the fact that she made this poor butler drive that jet right into the middle of a Gundam.
Guy.
Right into
Poor guy.
Right in the middle of a fight that is between the most powerful mobile suit in that series and the Heavy Arms.
Yeah.
Which is, I spam you with ammo and mech
Not even
missiles.
his own mobile suit, which is Wing Zero.
It's like, I'm gonna fly us into the middle of a fight between the most powerful mobile suit in this series and the mobile suit that shoots the most missiles at once.
The most powerful one, to the point where they had to tone it down a bit for the Gundams.
Yeah, no, Tallgeese was holding its own against Heavy Arms. Heavy Arms was in peak performance.
Yeah.
Tallgeese had a broken arm.
Yep. What I'm saying is, like, Tallgeese is what the guns were based off of.
Yeah.
And
Tallgeese
he's so
is
powerful that they toned him down a bit for the Gundams.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Wing Zero gets brought back up to Tallgeese status and comes in equal to a degree. But Tallgeese still outshines him as the original.
Yeah. Tallgeese is the granddaddy of all mobile suits. Which, you want to talk about Zex?
Yeah, let's talk about Zex and Noin.
Zex Marquis / Miliardo Peacecraft.
Noin, I forget her last name.
My favorite Char clone.
Yeah.
For those who aren't aware, the original character in Gundam who used to run around wearing a mask is Char Aznable, and every character in every Gundam series who has had a mask on has been known as a Char clone.
Yeah.
From that point forward. So, Zex, the Lightning Count. I love this guy.
Yes, very much so.
If only for what he does at the end of the show. Which is, I'm gonna play the role of the villain now. And
Because it needs to be played.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he and Treize both know that's very subtle. Like, if you're not really paying attention, frankly, a lot of this might just be me inferring. Like, I could be wrong. I don't feel that I'm wrong. But Treize and Zex knew this is how things were going to play out. And they set it up so that they would be fighting each other and one of them would have to kill the other. Just to establish peace. To create a scenario in which a war so terrible that it actually convinces the human race to chill their tits for a minute and not kill each other. That is...
Poetic.
It's poetic, but I love characters like that. That's why I like Lelouch in Code Geass so much, because
he plays the bad guy on purpose.
He didn't want to, and he didn't know for how... he didn't know in advance, as far in advance as Zex and Treize knew, that is what was going to happen. But at the end of the show, he still sets him up like that. Sets himself up like that to be a... Frankly, I think the word is martyr.
Yeah, he is.
It's almost like a reverse martyr. I won't be spoiling Code Geass here, by the way, but frankly, it's an older show. It's probably my second favorite anime, so...
It was in 2008, 2007. They have plenty of time.
Go watch Code Geass.
They've had plenty of time.
Go watch Code Geass. But Zex.
And R2. Code Geass R2. I think it's called R2, right?
It is called R2, but I lob them together as a single anime.
Yeah, but I'm just letting the populace know.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is a splendid character.
Pilot of Tallgeese.
Tallgeese.
We should address this. Hiro Yui pilots the Wing Gundam.
He masters the Tallgeese.
I love that about the... I mean, we've touched on favorite mobile suit designs, and one of my first ones was Tallgeese. Tallgeese is probably my favorite mobile suit design for its simplicity. But I also love the wild white stallion motif it's got going on.
He's also it's also very Spartan-esque with the horse's
but then that's
helmet.
also the mohawk.
Yeah,
it's also like a throwback to this is like a red horse's mane.
Yep,
that's so cool, and it's like a stallion that has to be broken.
Yeah,
because the mobile suit it has what is essentially the original zero system in it, so the machine moves by itself, which is
artificial.
It's horrifying. Because it will, frankly, attack allies. Unless the pilot can get enough of a control over it. But, Zex Marquise, also known as Milliardo Peacecraft, because he is the last remaining son of the Peacecraft family.
And then my chair speaks.
He's the last remaining son of the Peacecraft family, who were the monarchy of the Sanct Kingdom. His sister is Relena Peacecraft.
Yes, it is.
Who is Relena Dorlin.
Oh, God, yeah.
Who we have just previously discussed. I'm not a big fan of Relena. I probably dislike Relena only a little bit less than I dislike the heroine from Gundam 00, who does virtually... She does almost literally nothing at the end of that show. Other than hang out with a bunch of orphans.
I like and dislike Relena equally.
And write a song. She wrote a song. At least Relena was proactive, and she helped reestablish a pacifist nation.
She did stuff.
She did stuff. She was annoying when she was doing stuff, but she did stuff.
It.
This other chick, this chick in 00, who was created
Yes, I've seen it.
She was created to mirror Relena, does nothing.
She's worse.
Except
they
sit
made
around.
A downgraded version.
She sits around with a bunch of orphans and writes a song.
Yeah. No. I quit.
Anyway,
and then there's Noin.
Zex Marquise, he's essentially Treize's lieutenant. We can cover Treize after this, and then we'll go into each of the Gundam pilots. He pilots Tallgeese and later Epion.
Yep.
And then leaves... He works for the main antagonist. I guess you can call Treize the main antagonist.
Yeah, I believe so.
There are no evil people in Gundam Wing. There are some psychotic pilots who show up here and there, but I would not call...
It's mostly just people with different points of view.
They're all trying to achieve the same thing. They're all just going about it in very different ways.
Widely different ideologies.
Yeah. Actually, Treize's goal from the moment we see him on screen in Gundam Wing is total pacifism.
Yep.
He's just so far ahead of everybody else in that plan.
Yeah.
It's like he even realizes, it's like, so history is about to go in the wrong direction. When he sets everything up to have the pacifist aircraft shot down by Hiro, he says, alright, it looks like history's about to take a wrong turn, but I'm already too invested to stop.
Yep.
You know, things the way things have been set up, the only way things are going to play out
Is this way.
is this way. This is how it has to be. But that's, from the beginning, his goal was total pacifism. Zex is his lieutenant. They've also been childhood friends who, they also hung out with Dorothy when they were children.
Which is weird.
We'll talk about Dorothy once we get to Catra. But he attended... Zex Marquise, I say it over and over, is Miliardo Peacecraft, but he wears a mask to conceal his identity because the Sank Kingdom was eliminated.
Yeah, it was purged.
Yeah, by the Alliance military. And he joined Oz in an attempt to find retribution for his destroyed
Family.
kingdom and family, which he gets.
Oh, does he ever?
Which leads to some of the most interesting character development I've seen, because he gets what his goal is very early.
and then evolves.
Yeah, well, he gets what he wants early on, and then he's like, I don't know what to do with myself from this point on. Which leads to the Antarctica fight and his love of the Gundams and such. But we talk about Noin. She went to school with Zex. She is an Oz officer.
She is quite clearly the better pilot of the two.
Zex is
says
good.
She holds back.
Yeah, Zex is good. We talked about this in a previous episode of Lore, but I shared my opinion of Noin is the best pilot.
Yes.
In Gundam Wing, because Zex is the best pilot in Gundam Wing, but
that's arguable. That's your opinion. I don't believe he is the best pilot. I believe that he is one of the best pilots.
Fair. I stand by.
There's a difference between having your
opinion.
opinion and stating opinion as fact.
I maintain the fact that in Endless Waltz, Noin was piloting a mass-produced Taurus.
No, I believe she's the better pilot of
and walked
everyone.
away with a leg missing, and that's it. Whereas the Gundams, who are participating in the same fight with the same handicap of don't kill anybody, got totaled. Yep. All three of them get totaled. Tallgeese walks away without a scratch. But Noin is in a mass-produced mobile suit, and she is missing a leg, and that's it.
Yeah, she's a better pilot.
But to the point...
I was just talking about Zex.
Yeah, but to the point, they say up front that she has always been trying to play second fiddle to Zex to make him look better.
Yes. Because
she loves him. And, he knows she loves him. She knows he knows she loves him.
And they have a kid later.
In this mythical story that I haven't heard yet.
The spin-off coming, they have a kid. It's a female. It is his daughter, and they're still together.
Good.
Zex, Miliardo and Noin are still together and have this daughter that is walking around in a Gundam.
I don't have an opinion on that. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't read it. All I know is at the end of Endless Waltz, they go to Mars. So apparently they come back immediately if they're able.
No, it's quite quite a few years later.
How old is this kid?
Old teen, like the age of what?
Okay, because it's a 14-year round trip to get to Mars. That's all I'm saying is it's 7 years there, 7 years back.
For us, not for them.
They have real world science. They don't have any sci-fi tech.
I know, but that's why it's quicker they get to Mars. They get from Earth to the Sun in a couple weeks. In the movie.
I don't think it was the Sun. It was Mercury.
It was a sun. They were going to burn up the ships in the sun. Yeah,
they were going to destroy the Gundams into the sun.
Yes.
But I think they intercepted it before it gets to the sun.
It's close enough to where they are about to evaporate.
They send it off, and then they turn it around.
No, they have to go there, get them, and come back. They don't.
I'm just saying, I don't think they get all the way to the sun. I don't even think they get to.
No, they get close enough to where it's going to burn up.
I don't think they get to Venus.
One of the dangers is that it was going to burn up.
Okay, I don't recall.
Trust me, I do. One of the major dangers with Catra and his battalion of subordinates is that they got there and then they're very close to burning up.
I thought it was a lack of fuel thing.
It was lack of fuel, but it was also To the point, because they were lacking fuel because they were almost there. And it was also got to that point where they had to wrap around the sun to shoot back because they didn't have enough
Nope,
fuel.
it was not the sun. They didn't slingshot it around the sun.
Then I am wrong, but I remember it differently.
Yeah. It's okay. I don't think they slingshot around the sun. I think
But
they
they're
slingshot around
close enough to where they're
Venus.
going
I think it's Venus. If they even get to Venus.
But even Venus in a couple weeks is still beyond belief.
The reason I argue
It
this
takes
point,
a
the
week
reason I'm
to get
arguing
to
the
the
point
moon.
so fervently is because Gundam is real robot, and one of the things I love about Gundam is they don't have any sci-fi tech. All of this is totally achievable. You know, the space colonies, we can do that. We do that now with space stations. You know, the rotating sections of the colony that create artificial gravity, that's totally real science. Everything that's used to make the mobile suits move, we can't make computer programs and machinery that intricate yet, but that's why it is in the future, and that's why it is sci-fi.
They also have a
but
lot
the science
better
used to make it run, that's real science.
Yeah, but they also have a lot far beyond us technology to get to places a lot quicker.
It's okay. We can agree to disagree. But,
My
Noin.
chair is squeaking. I am sorry, guys.
Noin.
It's screaming at me. Trust me, I understand.
Noin is...
They have a kid, but...
Let's stop talking about that.
Come
because
on,
I haven't
love
seen
it!
I haven't seen... Everybody has had a child. We get
Yes.
it. They've all had kids. But...
Katra and the squiggly eyebrow girl. We all know who she is. Duo Maxwell and I forget her name.
What's it called?
Teardrop.
For those interested, Google...
Gunwing Teardrop.
I know it's got a more elaborate name than
Yeah.
that.
Winter or something.
Yeah, something like that. But, Noin, very good pilot. Probably, in my opinion, I think she's the best in the series.
I'd agree with that.
Let's jump into...
When we see her, she's the better pilot of
Yeah.
everybody in the...
She is a officer for Oz.
Yep. The leader of
She-
the Alliance.
She is essentially Zex's wingman for a while. / guardian. Guardian angel.
And then eventually she goes and guards Relena.
Yeah,
the
she
sister.
becomes a Sync Kingdom Royal Guard.
Yep.
And later joins the Gundam team toward the end of the series to help deal with her little Zex problem that everybody's having. Let's jump into Treize Kushlanada, who's one of my favorite Gundam characters, next to Zex.
He has a hard-on going against him with Wu Fang.
Wu Fei has a hard-on against Treize.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think Treize
Against
cares.
him. He doesn't. But what
All
I'm
right,
saying is...
let me rephrase that. Treize cares, but only because he recognizes that the Gundam pilots are after the exact same thing he does. So I think when he meets Wu Fei, he already has the idea in his head of, when we get to that point...
You're kill me. You're going to kill me.
If Zex doesn't do it, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
He already has the idea
And
formulating in his head.
surprisingly enough, it happens.
Yeah, well, not surprising. Everything that happens in the series is essentially set up by Treize.
I thought it would be Zex that killed him, but no, it turns out to be Wu Fei.
Zex wanted to.
Yeah,
Because
by far.
Zex thought it was his, frankly,
Job.
it was his responsibility. That's when Zex is trying to escape. There's a setup where Treize says, "You are going to die for me. You are going to give your life for Oz." And they leave Zex on board a ship. They abandon the ship, and then Oz comes to attack it. This is when Zex leaves Oz.
Yeah.
Basically, Treize orchestrates for Zex to fake his own death. To make Zex Marquise a martyr for Oz, but to let Miliardo Peacecraft escape.
Yes.
The whole thing, there's this monologue going on that Zex is saying while he's piloting. He's like, Treize, stop following me around. It's like, I'll only be able to be your friend until the day my mask breaks. You know, it continues.
Yeah.
What he's actually alluding to is the fact that they used to talk about this. They used to think, and that's why Dorothy approaches Zex at the end. And she tries to join his side during the final conflict, because she was involved in these talks they had as kids as well. She knows what they're doing.
Yes.
She's the only one that knows what they're doing.
Squiggly eye girl.
Besides Noin. Noin knows what's happening. But Dorothy knows exactly how everything is playing out, and that's what Zex is talking about during that fight, when his mask explodes and then he escapes and he's all pretty laying on the laying next to a waterfall, I think is how that plays out.
Yeah. Her eyebrows
He's got
always
water in his
threw
hair.
me off. Dorothy's eyebrows always threw me off.
I like him.
I don't dislike him.
I was
just
like,
it's like it's weird.
I used to think that was weird, and I'm like, I kind of like it. But yeah, that's what Zex is talking about in that fight scene. Is I need to. It's like he doesn't really want to do it, but it's like that is what is
supposed to happen.
Yeah, everything in the series was orchestrated by Treize.
Quite brilliantly and beautiful too.
Be more of a magnificent behind the curtain manipulator.
And then Treize's
than
daughter
that.
comes in the movie, which is implied that it isn't his daughter.
Yeah, we
and
don't
his
know
daughter
for
at the same time.
We do not know for a fact that she is his.
She's
daughter.
put up as his daughter.
Yeah,
by a really ruthless weasel type of character.
Yeah, Barton.
Yeah,
the other Barton,
the one that dies.
Yeah, but we can talk about Lady Un.
Lady Un and Wu Fei.
Huh?
Lady Un? Lady Un is...
Are you blanking on Lady Un?
Yes!
Lady Un was the really...
She had the,
She had the glasses.
Hair, right?
She had the glasses. Okay. She was, really loyal to Treize.
Lady
Then
Un,
she
okay.
goes to space and becomes like a flip personality.
Oh, she had multiple personalities. I'm thinking of someone totally different. Okay,
yeah, Lady Un is Treize's
I'm thinking
girl.
about the girl with swiggly hair for the Alliance.
So I don't know, Sally?
Sally, yes, Sally Winter. Thank you.
I think it's Sally Poe.
Sally Poe, Sally... Why am I thinking Winter? Oh, I digress.
Winter Teardrop or whatever you
thought it was. For some reason, my mind's scattered right now. Maybe it's the metric ton of liquor I drank. But, I digress. Okay, Lady Un. I hated her so much towards the second end.
She's designed for you to hate her.
The first part, I loved her. Second part, absolutely just wanted her dead through the whole series.
Dude, there are moments where, if you're really paying attention, some of the things that Treize does don't really make a lot of sense. Like, he's taking baths in rose petals. He's riding around in carriages. He's shooting clay targets. Or actually, I think he actually shot a real bird. He was sitting there and the clay targets were going up and down, and then he shoots the real bird when it flies away. He's on holiday because he knows he's about to die in the next year.
Yes.
You know, he knows he's set up the dominoes to the point where they're all falling down.
He's enjoying himself.
He's having himself a holiday before it's time for him to check out. And Lady Un doesn't get that. Lady Un knows what he's doing to a point. I think Lady Un also was another one. There were like 5 people who knew what Treize and Zex were going to do. It's Noin, Zex, Treize, Lady Un, and Dorothy.
Yes.
But I think Lady Un didn't fully understand. Like, she made it about Treize. You know? She knew that he wanted to martyr himself? I guess martyr is the appropriate term to use here. She knew he wanted to martyr himself, but she took that a little too literally.
Yes.
She this is even before, like, from the very beginning of the show, there's a moment where he hacks into her cockpit and puts, like, a garden up on screen. It's like, leave Wu Fei to me. Like, because he wants to meet Wu Fei, frankly. But she doesn't comprehend it, and it breaks her mind. You know? Because she loves him. She loves Treize. But the fact that she's more or less helping him kill himself
is breaking her.
Yeah. She's doing everything she can to build up this amazing, intricate plan that these people have put together. And I'm not sure she goes about all of it the wrong way. You know? Lady Un is a quintessential example of, you are missing the point of what I'm trying to do, and you're doing all of the things that I despise. You know? Like,
I completely agree.
Lady Un, in the beginning of the show, is everything that Treize hates. She's doing it for all the right reasons, but
all the wrong ways.
Yeah, like, and Trey's tried to explain that to her. It's like you're missing the point. I think the word he used was try to be more elegant in the future.
That was exactly
or something
it.
like that. Graceful. He tells Noin to tell, because Noin is also in on their little plan. He tells Noin to tell Lady An, she's on the walkie-talkie and she wants to talk to her. This is right after she hits Noin. By the way, Lady An slaps Noin. And then Noin blocks the next slap that's coming. She tries to take the headphones from Noin and she blocks the slap. And she says, Master Trey says to be more graceful.
In the future.
In the future. More graceful, Lady An.
Yeah.
It's like, I love that moment for Noin.
Very much so.
But, Lady An.
Lady
Do
An.
we want to do all of the pilots? We are at 1 hour and 15 minutes.
We'll speed through them. We'll talk about the points we like about them the most.
Okay, bring up one.
Let's go. Catra.
Catra?
I love Catra.
Catra Rababa winner.
He is very...
He's an INFP personality type, which if you give any credence to the MBTI
Typology?
typology, psychology, which I don't necessarily, but it's a fun thing to look at.
He's
the same personality type as me.
He has a lot of heart. He doesn't put it in the right place all the time, but he does the best he can with what he has. And with who he is.
He's the leader of the Gundam team later.
Yes, or the backup.
He is
the leader.
Which is why Zex tries to kill him. There's a really great moment toward the end of the series where the Gundam team is engaging Zex, and he's brought out several Virgo mobile dolls. And he's like, this is how mobile dolls should be used. It's a really interesting fight. It's one of the first times we get to see the Gundam team together toward the end of the show. But Catra's like, why do they keep Duo's asking why they keep targeting Catra? And he's like, I don't know, maybe they think I'm the weakest to pick off.
No, it's
Zex,
the opposite.
We cut to Zex, and Zex is like, if you're cut off the head.
Yeah.
Or cut off the brain, something like that. It's like Catra is... And the scientists recognize it too. The scientists are like, Catra is found drifting in space on a shuttle and sending out a message. And Oz is going to blow up the shuttle, because they know it's a Gundam pilot. And the scientists convince them, no, go get him and bring him back, because the scientists immediately recognize this is who they need.
Yes.
The rest of the kind of socially awkward, frankly robotic child soldiers that are piloting the other Gundams, which when you look at Hero, Wu Fei, Troa,
Duo
to a lesser extent, Duo to a lesser extent, but certainly yes, Duo is more of a loner. They needed Catra, and they needed Catra bad, because
he has his stuff together, but not as much as,
like I say, optimum example of an INFP personality trait, same as me. They are known for being able to do stuff like that to help people.
Thinkers.
Yeah. Well, feelers. Feelers.
Do
you have anything else to say about Catra?
I like how the
fact that he built the Gundam that was not supposed to be built and then used it to destroy space colonies.
He's the only one other than Hero that mastered the Wing Zero system. To the degree that he did. Like, there's the Proto Wing Zero, which is in Epion, and which is also in...
Okay, so he builds Wing Zero.
Yes.
Right? Wing Zero was the prototype Gundam design created. So here's how it goes down.
By the doctors.
The doctors, the scientist, Dr. J, and his little posse, each Gundam pilot has a scientist who was responsible for designing their individual Gundams.
Very much so.
They designed the Tallgeese, realized the Tallgeese was way too goddamn powerful, scaled it back to the Leo, and then disappeared. They go into hiding and they do the exact same thing again, but with...
Gundams.
They take their prototype design from, like, Tallgeese and take it to the next level. They create the Wing Zero design. They realize that too, is way too powerful for what they wanted. So they took that design, scaled it back, and then tried to recreate aspects of it in much weaker machines.
Yes. That's why I said Tall Geese is
Catra...
equal to a degree as Wing Zero.
Yes. Catra finds the Wing Zero design,
Builds it.
and then his...
Like a madman.
Then his father dies, and Catra has a psychological break and starts blowing up space colonies with Wing Zero.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's why they didn't build that, Catra! It's because it can blow up space colonies with one shot.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't make that.
I liked...
If he had talked to any of the scientists about that... But yeah, that's why, because frankly, Wing Zero was the one thing they were going to send to Earth during Operation Meteor.
I like his connection with Dorothy. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I know we're not talking about it much, but I will say this. In Teardrop, they have a kid also.
Yay.
Which is a female gender bender version, essentially, of Catra.
Yummy.
Take it as you will.
We could jump into Dorothy.
Let's jump into Troa.
We're going to talk about the Gundam pilot and their girls.
We talked about Dorothy a lot.
We've touched on Dorothy. I like how their relationship is Catra sees right through her crap.
Yes.
And in the end, saves her from herself in a way. Especially considering that she was the youngest of the people who understood what Zex and Treize were going to do at the end of the show. And she got into this snowball effect as she lost her relatives to the wars. That she created this idea in her mind to try and help herself cope with it.
Very much so.
And lost herself to that. And Catra had to, which is what
reel her back.
Which is what INFPs do. They see through you. They are very insightful individuals. And he pulled her back. And I love that because she does play a key role, a very small one, but a key role in Endless Waltz. We can touch on Troa.
Troa Barton.
Oh, Lord.
Not his real name.
No.
No one knows his real name.
I don't think any of their... Catra's real name is his real name, but I don't
Duo
think the
Maxwell's
others...
his real name.
I don't know.
Wu Fei is his real name.
I heard somewhere, it may be completely paraphrased, someone might have been making this up, but I feel like Duo Maxwell got his name from a church that got destroyed.
Maybe.
There was
he wears
a Maxwell
priest collar quite a
Yeah,
bit.
there was a Maxwell church that was destroyed during a fight with the Alliance.
I know Wu Fei's is Wu Fei's real name.
Yeah. Then again, Wu Fei has an odd system for naming things.
Yeah, he names his mech after his deity. So.
Nataku, yeah. He calls it Nataku.
Not real name of the mech, but
yeah, Troa Barton, another child soldier.
Yep. One of the coolest mechs.
I think he's also the oldest of the Gundam pilots.
Yes, by a couple years.
He was in wars when he was very, very young, piloting mobile suits.
Yep.
I never really considered putting Troa on par with Noin, but Troa might be another one of the pilots who's like, you're abnormal. You've seen the way he pilots heavy arms?
Yeah.
You see,
it's
think
unique.
about that. Think about how he's doing acrobatics moves with the heaviest Gundam.
I know, it's brilliantly
He's
beautiful.
spinning around in the air and doing this. It's great.
He works at a circus.
He's a child soldier. He was a maintenance guy working on the heavy arms hangar bay when it was being built, who killed the real Troa Barton, who was the son of Dakin Barton.
Yep.
Who were the individuals responsible for the orchestration of Operation Meteor, which was intended to be a massacre on Earth.
Yep.
The Gundams were intended to go to Earth and kill as many civilian population centers as possible.
Yeah.
Which
Very
the pilots refused to do.
Yep.
They went and they tried to tackle the actual problem, which was Oz. Troa kills the son of the guy setting it up, steals his identity and his name, and the Gundam, and goes to Earth.
He wasn't supposed to have any of them.
And then is the individual who begins to pass out the missions to the other Gundam pilots. Throughout the series, and you don't find this out until the movie, this is a 50-episode anime. You go through 50 episodes of this show, and then you get to a movie at the very end, and you find out...
everything.
Ha! Troa's been doing that! Like, I'm pretty sure there was at least one point where he straight up manipulated Hiro Yui.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to help him out, but like... I forget the circumstances, but he's with Hiro. Hiro gets a mission, and then Hiro goes and does the mission, and it's like, Troa did that.
Yep.
But he is the one giving the Gundam pilots their orders. He's also... His cover is an acrobat at a circus.
Yep.
And he's really good at it.
Very much so.
Did we talk about... Treize Khushrenada, leader of Oz. Milliarder Peacecraft is a lieutenant in Oz. Did we talk about Catra? Catra didn't really have a cover.
Yeah, well, Catra
was with the Magwanok Corps, so
Yes.
he did not require a cover because he had a battalion of mobile suits to act as his bodyguards.
Also, he's a very wealthy, prominent, known father in the space colonies.
Yeah. But Troa's an acrobat in the circus. He's
Yep.
also very good. He has a very high animal handling score.
As the lion does not bite off his hand, but yet purrs towards him.
Yeah. And the heavy arms is one of my favorite designs from
Oh,
the
yeah,
game.
it's beautiful. I like the movie.
I like the red one. I like the one from the show. I don't like the movie one as much.
I love the one in the
I
movie.
like the movie one in
where
blue.
he has double Gatling guns on both arms.
Yeah.
That is beautiful. Such a heavy laydown of bullets.
But his girl is... Oh, no. Cathy. Catherine.
plays his
I almost-
sister to a degree
I
for a while.
almost blanked on his name, but you know what?
Her name? Yeah.
That's my mom's name.
Oh, wow.
Cathy is my mom's name. So, Catherine is his girl.
Yep.
We're not going to talk about the
It's
scientists.
like a big sister, which is like a big sister to him.
She plays
for a
that
while.
role, but I'm sure they
It
get
evolves.
together in your thing.
They do have a kid.
Yeah, I know. All of these pairings
Have a
came
kid.
to fruition and then had children, and that's the basis
That's
of
why I
this
love
show.
it!
It's a shipping thing. But, yeah, Cathy is... What was she in the circus?
She
She was the knife thrower.
Yes.
She would throw the knives, and that's how she realized that Troa was as
Different.
he was messed up as
Yeah.
he was, because she would throw the knives at him.
It cut him, and he didn't move.
He didn't flinch. And... Oh...
Yeah.
Some of these Gundam pilots, they have balls of steel,
Yeah.
balls of Gundanium.
Good callback.
Uh,
Duo Maxwell.
Duo Maxwell, his cover is that of a priest, which I love.
Traveling priest.
I recycled that idea for Kugel.
Poor Google.
He dresses as a traveling priest to keep himself from getting hurt. Doesn't really get you very far in a D&D setting because Catholic priests don't exist in D&D. So he's running around dressed as a Catholic priest, and it's like, you're not really accomplishing much. It's like, I know. But Duo Maxwell, pilot of the Death Scythe.
And Death Scythe Hell later on.
Mm-hmm.
Second iteration, more powerful version of it.
Yeah.
Rebuilt. Actually goes invisible.
I think that's only the Death Scythe Hell.
Yeah,
I don't think the
that's what I'm
original
talking about.
Death Scythe can go
I'm talking about
completely invisible.
The second one, Death Scythe Hell, turns invisible like a bat.
Yeah.
He's the Batman of this world.
Well, it's the one of my favorite designs is the Gold Frame Amatsu, and that machine can turn invisible.
One of the coolest thing about Death Scythe Hell is when he fires his arm-launched shield.
It's got the
That's
beam.
not made out of Gundanium.
Yeah?
It's not. Because he uses it, and it's used to pierce and blow up. They don't use Gundanium to make that shield because the Gundanium is so
'Cause the
expensive
yeah,
and rare.
Yeah, the shield is disposable.
Yes.
That's cool.
So it's made out of steel titanium alloy, which I thought was amazingly awesome.
Yeah.
Because it's like, good, we're not wasting Gundanium here. You know how hard it is to blow up Gundanium?
That makes me wonder, because we've talked about Hero and we've talked about Troa. It makes me wonder if the Mercurius and the V8 were built with Gundanium.
They were.
I don't remember.
They were.
I feel like they were Neo-Titanium.
They're
Which is the other metal they use in the show.
It's a mixture of a lesser version of Gundanium.
Okay.
And I know that because Gundam Wing is my favorite Gundam. It's very close, preceded by Barbatos.
Right.
Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Iron-Blooded Orphan series.
But in the basically information page of it, they're made out of a Gundanium alloy, sort of.
I used to read...
I'm getting off topic.
I used to read MAHQ mecha profiles.
Yeah.
For those interested in any Gundam designs, go to mahq.com. That is Mecha Anime Headquarters. They have a great, I don't know if it's still running, but they had several podcasts going, one of my favorites was Chaos Theater. The other of which was Gundam! And that was one of my first podcasts. It was a long-running anime-themed podcast in which they would quite frequently discuss Gundam series and other mecha anime-inspired shows. But mahq.com. I think it's .com.
Okay, so but basically,
Death Scythe, hell.
I forget he has a love.
Hildy.
Thank you.
I got you.
The whiskey's strong in this one.
I almost forgot Kathy, but it's like, no, I got it.
The whiskey is
here,
strong with me right now.
I got this.
I'm pretty sure I drank a quarter of a 2-liter
Yeah,
of liquor right now.
Hildy, who starts the show as an Oz officer.
Yes, and actually finds out that Duo is a Gundam pilot.
Yeah, she believes very fervently that Oz is correct in what it's doing. She is actually a space colonist who joins Oz because Oz comes to space offering peace in an attempt to covertly take over the colonies.
And later she is swayed from that. She is swayed from that when she finds out the person Duo is a Gundam pilot, which makes her second think everything.
Yeah.
And
that and just what she witnesses Oz do.
Yes. The atrocities.
Yes.
And then on top of that, they have, in the later series coming out soon, they have a kid together, which makes me so good. Because that's my favorite pairing out of everyone is Duo and Hildy. No, seriously, they are my favorite.
She's cute. She's fun. She does play another pivotal role later.
Yes.
I think she appears in the movie for like 5 seconds.
As a very pivoted point.
She has No, not in the movie. She's only there at the very end of the movie.
At the end of the show, she helps.
In the movie, she is there to show you that Duo goes back to her after it's done.
Yeah.
But, our conversation probably doesn't make any sense to anyone who hasn't seen Gundam Wing, so if you're just listening, we're kind of jumping all over the place.
Watch Gundam Wing. It's amazing.
Watch Gundam Wing. It's really good.
If you want to watch subbed, it's on Crunchyroll. If you want to watch dubbed, it's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's everywhere. You can watch it. Gundam Wing is pretty accessible because it's so popular when it came out.
They just passed the 30-year mark for it.
Say what now?
25-year mark, maybe?
No.
No, of Gundam.
Oh. First Gundam came out in 1971.
Well,
so it's older than that.
They
had the 30-year anniversary a while back.
Yeah. Well, I saw there was a celebration online for Gundam Wing for something. Maybe it's like 15-year or something like that.
Might have been the 10th anniversary.
10th, 15th. It was an anniversary. For some reason, I'm thinking 30, but maybe I'm thinking of...
I think Gundam Wing was 98.
Yes. I was 9 when it came out to America.
It might have been a little sooner than that as far as when it was released in Japan.
Yeah, it was a little sooner. For American Eastern released, it was like 98, 99.
I think it was earlier than that in Japan. But
nonetheless, it is prevalent in the society of nerds.
My point was that our conversation lacks structure. We are geeking out in this episode. If you've
seen the show, you realize how awesome what we're talking about is.
If you have seen the show, you understand to a point what we are discussing. But we have virtually no structure. We're just going point to point. We're revisiting points. We're having fun being nostalgic for one of our favorite animes.
Yes.
So
my favorite Gundam.
For those who are listening who have not seen the show and don't care, you just want to listen to the podcast, we apologize for our lack of organization in this episode, but...
Go watch it.
We hope that you enjoy us, listening to us, enjoy ourselves.
And go watch it. You can thank me later.
Yeah, go watch Gundam Wing. And Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. And apparently the adaptation of what's coming out. But
it's coming out, I don't know when. Maybe it's 2018, 2019.
I believe I saw a trailer on YouTube for it, so it's already
going to be good.
In the stages of actually being animated. But Hildy, who turns coat and then gets... heroine. I believe she steals the blueprints for Libra?
Yes.
And brings it to the Gundam team and almost dies in the process, which, interestingly enough, they send mobile doll versions of the Mercurius and V8 programmed with the piloting data from Hero and Troa after Hildy. which was a pretty neat moment.
You're like, oh my god, you're so screwed! And then she gets saved.
Yeah. It's like, man, I wish we'd had an opportunity to see those two machines with backing up the tall geese.
Yeah.
You'd be so messed up. You'd be so... Like, those machines are kind of crap by themselves and disposable. But if you put the tall geese in the middle, you got the red, white, and blue. Merca! Gonna mess you up!
Merca.
Those three will mess you up because they suck by themselves, but they make great wingmen.
As a callback, Merca, 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 Merca.
But yeah, Hildy, we can jump to Wu Fei.
Wu Fei and his lady friend,
Sally
which is a lot older than him to a degree.
Yeah. Sally is...
They end up together, though,
I think
surprisingly.
Sally's the same age as Nguyen, probably.
They have a kid, surprisingly.
So Wu Fei is the
prodigal
prodigal
one out.
Wu Fei is the prodigal son of a space colony.
He's weird.
Yeah.
Completely weird to me.
I don't like Wu Fei. Not a lot of people like Wu Fei.
Yeah, I can't say that I
He's
like
got
Wu
his
Fei. I can't
sense
say
of
that I dislike him.
He's got his sense of honor, which causes him to, frankly,
fail.
not do anything for a lot of the show.
Yeah.
It's like anytime he feels he's failed at something, it makes him
repent for a while.
Not repent so much as stop. He comes to a standstill, and he stops getting anything accomplished.
Yeah.
So much so that he basically lets Oz take him prisoner.
Which is stupid.
I think part of the reason why he did that was to get all of the Gundam pilots in one place. It was part of the mission. I think he had a reason for letting Oz capture him at the end of episode, toward the end of the 20s. But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Wu Fei.
Not a lot of people are.
I like Sally.
I don't like him or dislike him. I love Sally. She's awesome.
He's the son of a space colony which later gets destroyed over the course of the series,
Yep.
and he cannot...
function.
Yeah, it destroys him, and leads to his actions in the film later, which was to join the Marimea faction. I don't remember if they had a different name than that. But Wu Fei, pilot of
Nataku.
he calls it Nataku.
Which is his deity.
The Gundam's name... Oh, I'm blanking on it. Shenlong.
Shenlong, yes.
The first one is Shenlong, and the second one is Altron. But he calls them both Nataku.
Yes.
Whose primary feature is the fact that...
His hands become dragons.
Well, Shenlong, one arm because it becomes like a dragon.
That's like Sword into Snakes spell from D&D.
Yeah.
It's like, it should work!
The Altron
No,
has
it
both
sticks
arms.
into snakes. I don't know why I said swords into snakes.
Altron, both arms become these dragon weapons. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. Yeah. Frankly, Altron and Nataku are pretty cool designs, if not plain.
I like the double tripike type staff that he has in the Endless Waltz movie.
Yeah, he gets that in Endless Waltz. Pretty much all of the Gundams, their upgrades are, you get double whatever you had. It is. It seriously is.
Except for Wing Zero lost his boosters and got angel wings.
Wing Zero was the odd one out, but all of the other ones were like, you get double what you had before. So Death Scythe had 2 scythes.
Yeah.
And then Heavy Arms had 2 double Gatling guns, because frankly, the upgrade in the second season, I say second season, but the latter half of the show was you get
an extra arm.
No, the Heavy Arms?
No,
they had 2 Gatling guns on a shield
on
later.
the shield instead. I'm talking about Ultron.
Yeah.
He gets two dragon arms.
2 dragons. One. Yeah.
Nothing very much else in that except for a paint job.
Yeah, they're interesting machine designs.
Very much so.
Not a big fan of Wu Fei. Sally Po is instrumental.
Yeah, she's a massive part, even in the movie.
Over and over, she joins the Preventers in the film, but I think she's the one of the operators for the Preventers.
Yes.
But, like, as far as who comes up with the missions...
She's one of the founders.
She's running the missions, yeah. The founders are the 3 women, Nguyen, Sally, and Un. Yes. Lady Un. Her first name is actually Lady.
Yeah. Which is not weird. There's people named Lady.
Yeah. No, it's not that weird, but that
hey,
is
Lady! Huh?
That is her real name.
Yep.
But Sally Poe, she's instrumental. She finds the Wing Gundam.
Very much so.
She finds Heavy Arms. She gets them to space.
She recognizes Hiro Yui as being completely abnormal.
Yeah, she talks him into saving themselves when...
And then Hiro jumps out of a skyscraper and doesn't pop his parachute towards the very end, where it makes no difference. Walks around with a broken leg.
Yeah, I'm fine. Then he puts it back.
Yeah.
And it grosses out Duo.
Duo's just like, I can't even eat now. What is wrong with you, boy?
Yeah. But,
he's superhuman.
Sally Poe...
To be clear.
Probably one of the considering that she is sort of paired with Wu Fei. Sally Poe is probably one of the more... I said it 2 or 3 times. Instrumental.
But odd one out.
She is so necessary as far as getting things where they need to be. Because she is an Alliance officer.
Very much so.
And when the Alliance collapsed, she
held
started
her pillar.
working to work against Oz, just like the Gundam pilots.
She held her pillar and just repurposed.
Yes. Let's see. Have we covered all of the Gundam pilots?
Yeah.
So we did Hiro, we did Trowa, Katra, Wu Fei, and Duo. That's all of the Gundam pilots, and we covered Zex and Treize early on.
We can talk about the Epion mech and then wrap it up.
Yeah, we can cover. We talked about Heavy Arms. Didn't really discuss in depthly what the machine. We did not discuss Sandrock at all.
But Sandrock's up close, and he has 2 missiles. There's nothing really.
Sandrock has missiles built in. He has his heat swords.
He has 2 missiles, heat swords, and a small.
It's supposed
buckler.
to have armor.
Yes.
Which it has momentarily. Like, it has a cape in Endless Waltz.
Yeah.
The real version is supposed to be, it's got this armor over it that's super light and it's basically made of jet engines to make the machine super mobile, but also heavily armed. Plus the cloth version of it does something too, I don't remember. Did we cover... We covered Death Scythe and Death Scythe Hell. Sandrock does not get upgraded, and neither does Heavy Arms, except to be space-worthy and minor weaponry upgrades.
Yes.
Sandrock gets a submachine gun.
That's about it.
And Heavy Arms gets an extra barrel for its Gatling
Double
gun.
ammo, a couple more missiles.
I love Heavy Arms' machete, by the way.
Yeah, when it
flips
pops out, he has a blade. He just cuts through. Yeah. That's awesome. Fun fact, that's made out of Gundanium.
Death Scythe,
That's the only blade in the show made of Gundanium. Sandrock's
it makes a lot of sense.
Twin Scythe are not Gundanium.
Yeah, they just superheat.
Yes.
But
the machete he
Death
pops
Scythe,
out is Gundanium, which is surprising. It doesn't look like Gundanium.
Yeah, that would also explain why it's so small. But Death Scythe, its main feature is it has a scythe. It has a big green energy scythe, which is just cool. But the machine is also invisible on radar. Later, the Death Scythe Hell has these large bat wings that fold over the front of it.
That are shields.
Yeah, it looks like a shield. Yeah, the mobile suits. We love the mobile suits from this show, obviously. I think we actually didn't talk about Wing Gundam very much. And the fact that its primary feature is that it transforms into a jet fighter.
Yeah, which is awesome.
How cool is that? It's not the first time it's been done, but it's
done well.
I really like the design of Wing. It took a while for Wing Zero to grow on me, and I'm lukewarm on some of the Endless Waltz designs. But, how are you? What have we not talked about? I don't think we touched on Epion. You just said Epion.
Epion is just close quarters. I don't like the mech very much.
It's
cool looking, but it's not perform. It doesn't perform worth it.
I think it's worth mentioning the fact that Epion is a red mobile suit that transforms.
Red Gundam.
Epion is a red Gundam. Although it wasn't. It was built.
It's made out of Gundanium.
It was built by Treize,
but made out of Gundanium, so it's technically a Gundam.
Yeah. It was built.
Also uses the Wing Zero system.
Uses the system that Treize created based off of the system that was inside of Tallgeese.
Yes.
So, a modified version of the
Proto
Zero
Wing
system.
Zero Part 2.
The Treize Zero system.
Yes.
It is a red Gundam that transforms into a 2-headed dragon.
Yeah.
That is specifically a close quarters machine.
Yes.
It is equipped with what is called a heat rod that comes out of its shield, which is an energy whip, and a beam saber that is frankly too big. That thing's
massive.
beam saber is scary. It's so powerful that it needs a line connecting it to its energy source. I'm building the Epion Master Grade model kit right now, so
It's too big.
I'm having fun with that.
My favorite we'll both name a favorite Gundam, and mine's kind of a cheat. It's Vade and Mercury. It's the sword and the shield.
We should work together then, because I'm going to talk about Tallgeese.
Okay.
Tallgeese, man.
Vade and Mercury are my favorites because one is literally the shield, one is literally the sword or gun. They literally work in tandem together. They're supposed to.
And you've got the mobile suit that can go with those two. That's so fast it can be everywhere at once.
Yes.
The all-around machine. It's like, seriously, those three will mess you up if they were working together. That would have been unbeatable grouping.
I think we've thoroughly covered it enough. If anybody wants us to cover it more, let us know and we will cover it more in a later podcast. We will break down...
Virgo, the one that's kind of a combination between the Mercurius and the V8. That's a mobile doll. With the smaller gun and the smaller number of shield units.
Okay, the mobile doll version.
Yeah, I like that machine. But yeah, the
fusion of the two.
Frankly, I like all of the mobile suit designs in Gundam Wing. But I think that's going to wrap up our discussion for Wing for now.
Yes, I believe we should go to the listener question.
This has basically been our Christmas special nostalgia trip.
Yeah, very long nostalgia trip.
This is our gift to ourselves, but we apologize for our lack of structure. Our listener question is actually going to be very simple. It is... Let me pull it up. What is your favorite anime featuring a Christmas celebration, and how does it incorporate into the show's story?
Asagami SS.
Agami SS?
Amagami SS. Sorry.
I've yet to watch that.
It is my favorite romance. It's different realities. It's basically he ends up with this girl in this one. In a different reality, he ends up with this girl. A different reality, he ends up with this girl.
It's in your top 3 anime, right?
It is my favorite romance. It is my top favorite romance. It's in my top 3 animes of all time. That being
As is mine.
That being on the level of Guyver, which got me into anime. It always ends with Christmas being the last episode. That is the episode that wraps up everything. Because
they have a festival going on in the show, right? It's a Christmas festival?
In Japan, Christmas is not a family holiday. They have family holidays before that and after. For them, it's a romantic holiday, and mainly on Christmas Eve. And that's where it ends in the show every time. Except for 2 of the 5-6 girls. Because one ends with a movie episode.
Got me SS and your multiple reality.
It's not multiple reality, it's so much what if this happened. By the way, it happened in that reality.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful, very poetic, and it shows...
It's the story in every possible way it can play out.
Which I loved. Because if you want a happy ending, it depends on where you stop the story.
Yeah.
What is yours?
Mine is, very obviously, Toradora. Because, frankly, Toradora is my favorite anime, period. And the Christmas episodes in that show play in so heavily into the plot that... You've seen Toradora all the way through, right?
Multiple times.
You know how he dresses up as a teddy bear?
Yeah.
He dresses up as Teddy Bear Santa and goes and visits her on Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve in that episode in the series, but in the episode when it happens is such a crucial aspect to the plot. So many things coalesce in that episode. I think it's the ending of season 1. Season 1. The show is in 2 parts.
Episode 25.
Something like that. Episode 12.
12,
probably.
sorry,
I think
12.
the show total is 26 episodes.
Yeah.
24,
I
26.
for that.
But
Whiskey, gotta love it.
Yeah, Toradora. And the fact that it's one of the more beautiful incorporations of Christmas. And it plays such a pivotal role. Like, there's the whole Taiga's glass star tree topper that gets broken.
Yeah.
That...
Forcing a smile on her.
Yeah. What?
No, that's a picture they take.
Oh, yeah. That's my
The forced smile,
yeah. Use that contact photo for your sister in my phone.
Oh, God. It fits.
Yeah, but the glass star tree topper that gets broken.
Yes.
And then has to be, like, her best friend, who's responsible, essentially, for breaking it, has to try and glue it back together, and she cuts her fingers.
And
very, very much like Mike Wazowski putting the door back together for Sully in Monsters, Inc.
Yeah.
He shows his hands, he's got Band-Aids all over him. It's like, she is so mad at herself for doing that she tries to put it back together, and then he tries to confess his love for the girl that he loves at the Christmas celebration at their school. And like I really love Ryuji because he's trying to do that, but he's also trying to be there for everybody else who needs him at the exact same time, which is where the primary conflict of that show comes from. And it's such a brick wall.
Yeah.
At the end of the Christmas episodes, and I love it so much.
And it starts going up from there.
Yeah.
It escalates, which is nice.
It gets worse before it gets better.
It very much
But
so. Not in as storytelling, but as for him.
Yeah. But that's been our Christmas Nostalgia Fest. Lack of organizational structure podcast for this week.
Hope you guys enjoyed.
And that's been our little Christmas-themed listener question. So, fellow Nerdians, we hope you've enjoyed this week's episode of Levels of Ridiculousness. You can always find our backlog of older shows as well as a new episode of Lore every Wednesday here at Nerddom. I'm Ozpin.
I am DK. Proof that I was here.
There is almost 2 hours worth of material proving that you were here.
I could be a robot. They don't know.
Please like, comment, subscribe, leave a listener question, leave a topic suggestion, tell a friend, and rest assured that you're all always welcome here in the kingdom of Nerddom.
Salutations.
Have a good one.
Help! The real me's trapped in a box! I'm in his basement!
Oh my lord. Don't look in my shed.